Hey there guys, what's up? It's TJ. Today I'm going to show you how to soften your key lights for about $4 to $5.
So baby, do better if you can do better. You gotta choose. Give me pain or give me pleasure.
This is a really simple build and it's straightforward and anyone can do it, but let's just show you how I made this. Start off with an empty canvas or, like me, a painting that I made a couple of years ago, which is probably worth millions right now, but I'm going to destroy it, so be comfortable with destroying your own artwork. You'll also need some scissors. You might need a flathead screwdriver. You will need some sheet that will soften your lights. I'm using tracing paper. You can get tracing paper at most art shops or craft shops. You can get them in sheets, which is probably the cheapest option, but then you might have to stick them together. I bought a whole roll and I use it for different kind of purposes. That is a little more expensive, but you can choose which way you want to go. If you really don't want to spend that kind of money, you can also use baking paper, the white kind. You can use that too, it works pretty much the same way. Only thing is that it has a little more structure in it, so it isn't really the perfect surface to bounce light into. Tracing paper is the way you want to go if you want to spend at least some money. You will also need some gaffer tape or duct tape. You will also need a knife or a box cutter or an X-Acto knife, anything sharp that can punch through the canvas to destroy it. And that is pretty much all you need, so let's go ahead and build this thing. First, lay your canvas on the ground and destroy it. Punch it through with a box cutter or anything. I use the box cutter. I made some slits in it in the middle and then I just started ripping it. It wasn't that easy to get everything out, but I mean, these cheap ones aren't made that well, so it won't be that hard. You just end up with this wooden frame. And with mine there was still a wooden stick in between of the canvas, and you can't have that because you want one big giant sheet of light, so rip it out. Mine was kind of nailed on there, so I got my flathead screwdriver and I got beneath it. I just pulled on it and after a while it started to become loose. If there are nails or something like that sharp sticking out, then go ahead and wrap some tape around it if you can get it out. That's what I did, so nobody gets hurt by this. Then you grab your sheet of tracer paper and you put it over your canvas. You take your scissors and you just cut around it. Leave a little extra so you can wrap the whole thing around itself and adhere to it on the back of the canvas. Turn the whole thing around so that the tracer paper is now on the bottom. And then bring in the gaffer tape or the duct tape. Put the tracer paper on half of the tape so you can wrap it around, then flip your canvas around and do it for the other side. This time pull on it a bit so you can really get it tight around the canvas. Now the main canvas is pretty much built. If there are some holes or some rip parts of your tracer paper, then go over them with tape so that they don't rip any further. But you do need a way to mount this canvas. You can use tape to tape it on stuff. You can also use clamps to clamp it on all sorts of stuff. This part you can improvise, but I'll just tell you how I did it. I grabbed some of the spare fabric, which you normally paint on, and I wrapped it into a tube, put some duct tape on it so that it really was a fixed tube, and then I covered the top of the tube with two sticky sides of tape next to each other. Then just tape it to one side of the canvas. You can choose which side you want, but tape it on real nicely because that is gonna hold all the weight of the canvas. And what we just made is a little sleeve or a little socket where a light stand can fit in. This way you can just get a light stand or a tripod without the tripod head, just a tube. You can just slide it in and it will hold itself like that. This isn't the most professional way to hold up a bounce or a diffusion screen, but it was pretty much the only way I could figure out how to do this without buying anything extra. You can get some big clamps and you can just clamp it to a tripod or to a light stand. That might be easier for you. But I didn't have those big clamps, so this way I don't have to tape it around a light stand or something. I can just slide it in, slide it out. And as you can see, you can just move it up a bit, clamp it on there, and it will hold itself perfectly. It's nice and light, and you can just move it around a bit until you find the position that you want. A nice word to describe this soft panel is jank. It's absolute jank. But it works. I didn't spend any money on this. I used all parts I've found in the attic. If you want to, you can make this, or you can think about ways to make one of yours with things you have laying around. So if you have another way, then definitely leave that in the comments down below. I hope you liked this little project of mine. If you did, I have some more videos that are comparable to this one, so please check them out, and if you like them, consider subscribing. Anyway, that's it for this one. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.
So baby, do